listening to the Digitally Irresistible podcast, where we cover the optimization of digital technologies and irresistible people. Brought to you by iQor. Each episode features someone who sheds a little more light on the ins and outs of delivering a great employee and customer experience that has a measurable impact on the business. And now, here's today's guest. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Digitally Irresistible podcast. I'm your host, Bernie Borges. Today's guest is David Wasserman. Welcome, David.
Thanks, Bernie, for having me.
David, it's nice of you to be here. And yes, that is a bad joke. And in a moment, our viewer and our listeners will know why that's a bad joke. So let me kind of set the stage for the conversation that we're going to have, David. As you know, iQor was previously managing a large percentage of our teams across our 50 plus contact centers on a workforce management solution, but some of our employees couldn't easily be scheduled because there were system limitations and scaling issues. Meantime, iQor was hiring thousands of employees each and every year, which put even more pressure on our workforce management capabilities. Then the pandemic struck, and then we moved 18,000 of our employees into a work at home model, which put even more pressure on our WFM capabilities. So iQor went out to the marketplace and we searched for a WFM solution that would address those obvious pain points of size and scale, while also providing mobile access and also just good reporting. Now, David, as you know, iQor selected NICE as our partner for an enterprise level WFM solution. So now that I've set the stage, I would love for you to first introduce yourself and your company, NICE, and then we'll get into the three criteria that we use to select NICE as our WFM partner. So introduce yourself, please, David.
That sounds great. Thanks, Bernie. So first, let's start off a little bit about NICE. We're a global company. And really, if I were to put it in kind of an encapsulated statement, we focus on helping companies like iQor provide next-gen digital experiences, customer experiences for your customers. We've got about 7,000 employees around the country. We serve verticals from enterprise, medium business, and small business. And again, we're just focused on helping companies like iQor provide next-gen customer experiences. A little bit about me, I work in the portfolio marketing group. I've really got kind of two primary roles. The first is really developing, I'll call it our value proposition and our story, which is a little bit about what I'm here today to do. And the second is around helping our customers have better engagement with our solution. So really kind of boiling down exactly what we do and enabling our sales teams to articulate that in a very simple way that helps customers understand, how does NICE solve my business problems?
Okay. Thank you for that, David. So, David, as you know, iQor has in the range of about 30,000 employees that are frontline employees that are delivering a customer care solution of some sort for our clients. And as I mentioned in the introduction, we previously had a workforce management solution that we simply outgrew. So when we selected NICE, there were three criteria, as I mentioned. And the first one that I would like you to speak to is we were looking for a centralized, unified WFM, workforce management solution that would be employee friendly, of course, and also mobile friendly. So can you speak to that in the context of NICE, but also start out with like defining
Yeah.
workforce management before you kind of get into like how you address the centralized, unified model?
Yeah, absolutely. What I would say as it relates to what is workforce management, it's really a system that's doing two main things for a business like iQor. The first is around ensuring what I'll call operational efficiency. So this is being sure that you have the right amount of people staffed at the right times to answer customers' concerns. But the second, and it's very, very important, it's no different than the first point as far as its importance, is around ensuring that agents are engaged, right? And that the system is allowing not only the business to meet its performance metrics, but for agents to have a work-life balance, which, as we all know, in this new world we live in, we have a variety of work environments, whether it's in the office, whether it's hybrid, whether it's permanent at home. So being able to encapsulate all that in a solution and serve both purposes is really the key of a next-gen workforce management solution.
Okay. Well said. Thank you. So, how is it centralized and unified, employee friendly, mobile friendly?
Yeah. I would say let's start off with the employee because I would say from my perspective that's if they're not happy, then the business is not going to function
Yeah.
well. One of the things, and again, it's been really accelerated by the pandemic and the circumstances that we're all in, is now you've taken thousands and thousands of agents who used to come to work every day and interact with each other, and you put them in their homes. Their ability to dialogue with each other, talk with their supervisors, change their schedules, update their schedules, et cetera, whether for whatever reasons, vacation reasons, et cetera, has been eliminated. So what we've done with iQor is really extended the capability of that type of interaction around schedules into a person's mobile phone. So now when you're at home or you're in a hybrid situation, if you're interested in having a day off, if you're interested in getting additional slots in your schedule, you're actually not having to ask the supervisor, right? It's an automated system that's sitting on that mobile app, available 24 hours a day to anyone that interfaces with it, and you're not having to ask permission at all. The system's actually deciding for the business what the best schedule is for that agent and whether or not you can get a day off, you can have extra time. But that whole need for supervisors to be thinking about who do I put in the slot at this time, eliminated and again extended, I think is the most important thing to the agents wherever they may be. The second point, which gets back to operational efficiency, and you mentioned about iQor's prior solution. Look, this is complicated stuff. You're talking about thousands of people answering millions of interactions from customers in a variety of circumstances, and potentially around the globe. So, it's not an Excel spreadsheet, right? It's got to be really well thought out, high-end algorithms that are able to understand what's happened and forecast out what could happen to make sure that every interaction with a customer is handled in the best way in the right time required.
Yep. Well said. Operational efficiencies and also making it easy on the employees. So well said. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Now, the second criteria, David, as you know, is that we also needed a platform, a WFM platform, that would really provide for robotic processing automation capabilities so that we can eliminate many of the mundane tasks that agents have been burdened with in the past and really enable them to work on more value added tasks. So, can you speak to that?
Yeah, and I think this is another example where a difficult situation of a pandemic kind of pushed us all forward in ways that we thought we could, but we never moved in that direction. Again, think back to the typical contact center of 18 months ago. You've got people interacting with each other. You've got manual processes going on in the center. You've got people dialoguing with maybe paper manuals. Now you're sitting at home. And now the interactions coming from customers are probably much more accelerated and in some cases, to be candid, Bernie, much more emotional, right? People are under
Yeah.
significant stress.
Yeah.
So enabling the agent to no longer have to deal with, I'll call it the mundane cut and paste is key and allowing them to interact with a customer at a really a higher level of intelligence, a higher level of helpfulness, and really helping the customer get their issue resolved and get them on their way in a timely way, not saying, hold on, I've got to go from this system to that system. So it's efficient, but in the end of the day, it's answering the customer's request and it's relieving the agent from the stress of having to do things in a manual way. So even the job itself becomes more of a knowledge job than I'll call it a typical customer service job that we knew 18 months ago.
And it becomes more fulfilling because they're actually able to use their knowledge, their skills. And again, we're eliminating so many of those mundane tasks that they previously used to have to do.
Exactly, exactly. So I think in both cases, WFM and RPA, iCor has really moved forward with the times to be sure that both customers and agents have a satisfying experience.
Yep. Okay. The third criteria is that we also wanted to be able to fulfill on a demand that we recognize in the marketplace, really an opportunity, and that is to deliver workforce management as a service, David. So we were looking for a partner where we could actually power the platform and then use it to deliver workforce management as a service for multiple clients. You want to speak to that?
Yeah, sure. I think, look, iCor is in a unique position of taking that approach in the market. Again, back to kind of the circumstance, I think the situation caused a lot of businesses, large businesses who were previously maybe managing contact centers on their own to kind of rethink like what's my real value add in this chain here. Now it may be that my employees are the ones that I want talking to my customers, but it may not necessarily be that I want to be the one deciding when they answer the customer or how they answer the customer. So this WFM as a service is really a capability that iQor now has to offer their expertise in WFM, not just the nice solution, but also your people expertise
Exactly.
in delivering WFM to other companies that may say, you know what, that's really not my thing. And I've realized that through the last 18 months. It's not where I fit, and I'd prefer that you do this for me.
Exactly. And David, it also enables us to begin new client relationships. That could be the way that we enter into a new client relationship with WFM as a service. And then over time, that relationship can expand possibly. It also enables us to expand existing client relationships. We could be working with a large brand where maybe in one division we're an outsourced partner for them, but another division they're doing it in house, and we can go in there and again deliver WFM as a service that otherwise might not be an option for them.
Yeah, I think as you said, you may have customers that are doing both. And now you can come to the table saying, look, I know you want your own employees answering the interaction with customers, but I have this skill and this expertise around making sure that you really do two things. One is you do it efficiently, as I talked about at the beginning. And the second thing, which is just as important, is your employees are engaged and happy and have the right work-life balance so that they're not churning out and leaving your business. So I think it's a great opportunity, a great
Yeah,
solution.
agreed. So just to recap then, the three criteria that we use to select NICE as our WFM partner is providing a centralized unified solution, providing a platform for RPA, and then also enabling us to partner with you and power your platform along with our capabilities to deliver WFM as a solution. So the solution and the relationship has been fantastic. We're enjoying it. Hope you guys are as well.
Absolutely.
And that leads me to my last point, and that is, while I've got you here, David, I'm going to ask if you would, if you could talk about some recognition that your company, Nice, gave us a few months ago in the Judges' Choice Award. We're going to do a little boasting here. Can you tell us about the Judges' Choice Award?
Absolutely. Well, as I said at the beginning about NICE, we're a large company and serve multiple customers. We actually have about 25,000 customers and we have 7,000 employees. And each year we have an event. It's actually in the past 2 years become a virtual event called Interactions. And we bring all our customers and partners in and we select a few to have what we call the Judges Award. And what this is really a recognition of our customers and those that are the most innovative and forward looking in leveraging our solutions as well as their own talents to provide, as I said at the beginning, next gen digital customer services to their customers. And in the case of this past year's event, which was in May, iQor was selected as one of those few companies to win that award. So we're very proud to have you at the event, and we're certainly honored to be able to select you in that spot.
Likewise, it was an honor. Thank you so much for the recognition. David, my final question in our time together here today is not a business question, and that is, when you're not working, what do you like to do for fun?
So, not everyone would call this fun, but as you're asking me the question, I'll give you my answer. I'm actually a pretty big fitness buff. So whether it's running, whether it's cycling, whether it's I got into TRX about a year ago. Again, like most people were working at home and the gyms were closed. So I had to innovate myself. So I would say that for fun, and it's satisfying, and that's what I call fun. Is it's a combination of the exercise and also many years ago I became a vegan. It's not a political statement. It's just kind of a way of eating. And what I found is that it's very satisfying, and it's actually fun to be able to kind of combine those both elements in my life. And I call it live a healthier life. And I think during these times where things are a bit chaotic, having some stability in those two areas has been honestly very helpful. Very
Yeah,
helpful,
yeah,
absolutely.
I agree. So I share one of those in common with you. I'm not a vegan, but I definitely enjoy fitness and have for decades. And likewise, when the pandemic hit, moved my workout routine from the gym to home. And actually, I'm enjoying it. So I consider it fun as well. So I share that with you.
Great.
David, before we sign off here, where would you like to send our viewer or listener to learn more about what you've got going on at Nice?
I would say two places. The primary place I'd ask people to go if they're interested to know more about what we do and how we do it is our LinkedIn page. I would say it's a very interactive page. We have videos, we have other postings that I think can help people a lot. And obviously, we also have a website, which is kind of, I'll call it another level down. But the cursory first view, our social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, et cetera. We're very active on that. We're trying to engage people in new ways, leveraging technology. And that's where I'd ask people to go first for sure.
Fantastic. And the website is nice.com.
Nice.com. Yes, exactly.
Fantastic. Well, David, thank you so much for joining me here on this episode of the Digitally Irresistible podcast to talk about enterprise workforce management solutions that are powered by NICE at iQor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Digitally Irresistible podcast, where we cover the optimization of digital technologies and irresistible people, delivering a great employee and customer experience that has a measurable impact on the business. Brought to you by iQor. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss future episodes.